There you are. Nice to not see you. Nice to know that you're there. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday, I believe it is. And welcome back to hot and steamy Kentucky. I'm delighted to see you. And let's have some exercise, shall we? So, yes, indeed. Here we are. Another week. I hope everybody is well there. Everybody here is doing great. Good. I'm looking left and right. It's already been a busy day here. We've been to the gym, we've had lunch, and now we have lots of work to do in the house. And it's all good. I'm doing the reach one arm at a time. We had so much fun this weekend. I hardly know what to do with myself. It's so unusual for me to have so much fun. But I went up Friday night to Lexington to visit with my other brother and his partner, and they had a lovely bourbon tasting potluck dinner party, which was great. And yeah, there was a lot of drinking. That's all I'm going to say. A lot more than I'm used to, open and close. It's almost like I was trying to toast every single one of Carol Smith's birthdays. I didn't quite make it. I didn't actually get out of her toddler years. Anyway, we did the bourbon tasting and the dinner party. And then the next day we went to the a very nice art fair that they have in Lexington every summer. And it was, I don't know, they had tons of booths, lots of incredible artwork, but you could almost barely stand to be outside. It was so hot and muggy, but it was still a lot of fun. And then yesterday, switch directions. Yesterday, we went to the Kentucky State Fair for the first time for me since I was a little kid, I think. And that was fun too. We had a nice time. I'm doing the side bends. We did not go on any of the rides, but we went to see all the cakes and the pies and the canning and the watermelon that was as big as a suitcase and the pumpkin that was as big as my house. And just all the cool stuff that you see at the state fair. So that was fun. I was a little disappointed. My favorite thing about the state fair was always the petting zoo. I'm going into cat cow. 'Cause back when I was a kid, they just, throw you in the paddock with all the miniature horses and the burros and the goats and the I don't know, usually a llama or something. And they just turn you loose in there. They don't let you do that anymore. They don't actually let you touch the animals anymore. So it's more zoo, less petting. I think that's what happens when you let the lawyers get involved. Anyway, sit up nice and tall and give me a twist. But still, it was lots of fun. Boy, I had no idea that they have so many different categories for, best of show in the state fair. I'm going toes forward and pick them up. I knew they do canning and, you know, pie contests but they got quick breads and slow breads and sourdough breads and muffins and cakes and scones and biscuits and that's just in the baking part. And then they've got decorated Christmas trees. They've got a category for hobbies like woodworking and oh, I don't know, stuff made out of seeds glued on paper and um, oh, the quilting was incredible. They had tons of, I'm going heels up now, tons of beautiful quilts hanging up, other kinds of needleworky stuff, but just a fascinating selection of people's hard work and talents. I'm doing the ankle circles and then other direction and other foot and other direction. Good. And then sit up tall, belly in, straighten at the knee, reach out from the heel of your foot. Hopefully, I won't lose you today. I've got you on the hot spot, so we should have a steady internet connection. And then switch legs. Good. Two more. All right. Swing that first leg out and back. And then other side, switch. That's 10, 11, and 12. Beautiful. I'm going legs stretched out. Hold on to your chair so you don't fall out. And I'm going toes in and toes out. So just easier said than done, not falling out of the chair. Toes in and out. So rotating from the hip, and you can see the knees rotate as well. So you're really twisting the whole leg, not just the toes. Good. Then while we're here, feet back closer together, and I'm going to go one knee in, other leg stretched out. So I'm leaning back and holding onto my chair, belly in, and doing that nice long march. And as always, if you want it harder, make the switch in midair so that you really have to work your core. Good. I'm sure that's enough. I'm going to sit that same way, hips on the edge of the seat. I'm holding on behind me here, and I'm leaning back a little bit. And I'm going to do a little bit of a scissor kick. Oh, that's hard. This chair doesn't really hold me that way. It wants to tip forward. There we go. So a little sideways scissor kick, holding from the middle. Yes. Yes, I know. I know you'd like to be done. I would too. Oh, that's enough. That's enough of that. That's nonsense. Why do I make you do things like that? I don't know. Let's grab your weights. I'm going to use my handy Jim Beam bottles again. Because, I don't know, some jokes just never get old. Plus, they're handy. They're what I got. They're what I've got. Let's do a row to begin with. So I am going to turn my palms away from me Fold forward over my lap. All right, lengthen my spine, pull my shoulders down toward my belt, and then drive the elbows up and back. Pinch the shoulder blades toward one another and down. So from the side, it looks like this. Keeping that nice long spine. I'm trying not to round, not slumping. Keeping the shoulders pulled together. Good, keep going. I'm completely making this up. 11 and 12. That felt close enough to 12. Okay, let's see if I can do a hammer curl to a press with these. So, thumbs to shoulders, press straight up. Thumbs to shoulders, open down. I'm not sure if my microphone is sensitive enough for you to pick up the little gurgle of the bottles, but it kind of makes me happy. Good. Press and all the way down. How many do we think that is? I'm going to say that was 8, 9. I could be wrong. But I'm going to call this the last one. Beautiful. All right. We're going to do this one arm at a time. I'm going to sit forward and lean back. I'm going to take one weight in one hand. I've got my palm facing away from me, and I'm going to bring my thumb toward the opposite shoulder and then straighten. So I'm trying to keep this part of my arm, my upper arm, pretty still and just bending from the elbow and straightening. You should feel this in your triceps, back of your upper arm. I think that's 8. And 12. Good. I'm switching sides now. So arm up straight, palm facing away. I'm trying to keep my head in line with my spine. So I've got my chin tucked a little bit, and I'm just bringing the thumb across the body toward the opposite shoulder and straightening. I'm really trying to straighten that elbow. So I'm not stopping at 3/4 open. And now I've lost count. We'll call that 6. Good. And we'll call that 12. Excellent. All right, I'm sitting back up. Let's fold forward over the lap and do some rear flies. So fold yourself in half as much as you can. Keep a nice long spine and pull your shoulders down from your ears, and then open to the side. Really squeeze your shoulder blades together and toward your belt, and then lower with control. So squeeze it, and then try to hold the squeeze on the way down. Good, that was 12. Excellent. I'm going to hold on to just one of my weights and I'm going to use it to paddle my canoe. So, sitting up tall, core engaged, holding your weight, kind of in both hands. And I'm going to reach and pull. So, really feel that rotation as you come around. Try to keep your spine long and keep the twist really well controlled. And it's a reach and a pull. You can pretend you're pulling through water, and it's harder to pull through water. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Excellent. Okay. We should do a little bit of standing up work because we can. So, I don't know. Give me a sit to stand if you have time. If you're already up and want to stay up, stay up. And bring your chair, come around behind or beside your chair. Let's do a, we might as well start with the hard one. Why not? Let's do a big step back. So I've got my shoulder facing my chair, right? So I'm sideways to it, perpendicular to it. I'm going to stand on the leg closest to the chair. I'm going to take a big step back, and by big, I mean big, right? Because I want to take a big enough step back that I can bend both knees, bring the bottom knee toward the floor, and come back up. If I don't take a big enough step back, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to try to go down, and my knees are going to get crowded, right? So if I take a big step back, think about dropping that back knee to the floor. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. You're going to go wherever you can, right? Your toes might not bend enough to get you down to the floor. Your front leg might not be strong enough to get you back up from the floor. So you're going to work in whatever range of motion you've got. I'm staying on this one leg, just stepping back and stepping together. Because we know this is probably the hardest part of getting up off the floor. And then I'm switching sides. So turn the other way. Stand on the leg closer to the chair. Big step back, back knee to the floor. You can see I have to take a huge step back to give me room for those knees to bend to 90 degrees without being too crowded, right? That hurts. That feels fine. Your heart rate should be getting up too. Anytime you're lifting and lowering like that, your heart's working hard. That feels like about as many as we did on the other side, and about as many as I'd like to do. So, come up on your toes. Good, 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 good. Yeah, the more I work with my dad and I see the other folks in the community where he's staying, your ankle and your toe flexibility matter a lot. You got to keep those puppies strong. Good. Now stand on your feet and draw your toes up. So toes up. I'm trying not to do the shift back, trying to stay nice and upright and make all the work happen from right there in the front of the shins. Beautiful. Excellent. Going right into a side step, step and tap plus a little crouch. I tell you what, we have done some interesting stuff. In my dad's physical therapy, they had him walking backwards on the treadmill, walking sideways on the treadmill, right? So as the belt's going, he's got to keep moving or he falls off. They don't let him fall off. But it's interesting and challenging work. I do not recommend you try that at home. Only heavily supervised. Is that a good idea? Good, 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 good. And then I'm going to come back up to upright and take that big backstroke. Good. Let's do a single leg hip circle. So hang on to your chair. I don't know. I think this works better sideways to the chair. You're going to stand on the closer leg, and then the outside leg, I just want you to use your knee to draw as big a circle in the air as you can without twisting your pelvis, right? So pelvis stays straight ahead. Only this hip joint moves. I want you to move in as big a circle as you can without pain. If it's catching or biting or grinding, you want to avoid that. But if it just feels weak or tight, knock yourself out. I'm going to switch directions, so same leg, but go the other way. Big circle. So I'm thinking about the knee drawing the circle, but it's really the hip joint that's moving. Good. Then other side. This is easier. Well, it's easier if you actually turn so that the moving leg is free, or if your legs are so short that you're in no danger of banging the chair. So I couldn't reach that chair if I tried. So nice big circles. And then in reverse, circle the other way. Good, excellent. All right, let's have something for our brains. So let's do a Charleston step. So I have to be very focused and think this through. I'm going to step, kick front, step, touch back, step, kick front, step, touch back, right? And then once you get it, just keep doing it. Let your arms swing a little bit, pick up your pace, and add your jazz hands if you want, right? So we're doing just one side. So, touch, kick, touch, kick. Good. Now we're going to switch. So do a couple more. Pay attention which leg kicks. That's the leg we're going to start with, right? So step with that leg, kick front, step, touch back, step, kick front. You should be now kicking with the opposite leg. Step, touch back, step, kick, step, touch, step, kick, step, touch. I like to do this little hinge at my hip to reach back on the touch. Just because it's more work for that hip. It's good for your balance. And when you get the hang of it, get it moving. Good, 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 good. That's probably enough. Come back to feet about hip width apart and give me some hip circles. Oh, yeah. and other direction. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop today. What the heck is that? Every time I come around, I get a big pop. Somebody needs to sit on her spiky ball. All right, let's have some stretches. Oof. So face the back of your chair, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Put that back heel down to the floor. Adjust the amount of stretch you've got by how far back you step. So farther back is more stretch, closer in is less stretch. Find a place that feels good. And then switch sides. Oh. Good. Then hang on to your chair. Walk back, walk back, walk back. Pull your hips back. Lengthen your spine. Really try to decompress your whole spine. And then bend your knees, tuck your tail under, walk back to your chair, come back around to the front, have a little seat. That is good stuff. So I'm starting with the hip stretch, 1 foot up on the opposite knee. Give it a wiggle, and then tilt your pelvis forward just till it feels good. Good. Other side. Wiggle it around, sit up tall. Tilt forward. Good. Come back up to upright. Let's do a W to a Y. So come into a nice W position. Pinch your shoulder blades together and back. Sit up super tall. Reach up into a Y. Pull down and back into a W. Really pinch it together and back. And then reach up and pull it down. Reach up and out. Pull down and together. Good. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. Oh, that feels good. Okay, here we go. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Give me a wide stance. Reach up. And side bend. Oh, 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 oh. Good. Tall in the middle. Swan dive forward. big reach out of the top of your head. Lengthen your spine again. Think about opening up space between each vertebra in your back. Oh, take a deep breath when you get to the bottom. Oh, that feels good. I'm going to do that again. Big deep breath. And then brace your belly, use your hands, push yourself back up. Fantastic job, everybody. Have a good day. I will see you back here on Wednesday for balance work. Be there or be square. Nicely done. See you guys. Bye.